puzzle. Miss these puzzle toys. We used to play with them were all the time as a child. Simple toys. I miss those times, brother. Yeah, brother. Can I get you anything, Father? I'm fine, dear boy. Don't worry about me. Do you want me to help you move somewhere else or go inside? Not at all. The fresh air is good for me. I'd like to enjoy the sun's warmth some more. Are you sure I can't get you anything? Some water, maybe? The child would bring a cold cup of water to his frail father. What more could a man want in his old age? You're a good son, Remus, a good son. It's Marius, Father. Marius, goodness, when did you get home? Never mind. Just a minute, I'll get you some fresh water. Oh yeah, the bucket's over here. Here you go, Father, fresh from the fountain. Thank you, dear boy. What do you know about Father's doctor? Mother seems to think very highly of him. The good Dr. Philemon is our blessing in these dark days. Who knows how we'd manage if it weren't for him. But he doesn't seem to be able to cure Father. Don't be ignorant, Marius. Not everything can be solved through your prayers. If there was a cure, I assure you that Dr. Philemon would have found it by now. You seem to have more faith in him than Mother does. I do, and you shouldn't make assumptions on his qualifications without a clue of what you're talking about. Stargazing used to be a passion my father and I shared. Perhaps Remus filled the void after I left. I hope he learned to love the stores as we do. Can I assist you with anything? I wonder what time it is. It seems a bit late in the afternoon. Please go fetch our maid. She must be in the old house. If not, look for her on the trail towards the cemetery. A moment. We have a maid? Since when? Since I couldn't keep doing everything on my own around here. She's a good girl, reliable. You treat her well, you hear? Oh, I'm sure he will. Of course, Mother. Why would you even need to ask me that? Go on now. Go tell Arena she should start preparing dinner. It's getting late. Yes, Mother. Act 3. A quiet stroll.
Marius did not find the elusive young maid in the old house, so he set out to look for her on the trail towards the family crypt. He welcomed the idea of a stroll through the woods, with the fresh mountain air to cool away the tension from the reunion with his family.
The maid isn't in the old house where I looked everywhere. A moment of peace to clear my head. Why are there animal skulls lying around? The house I grew up in. Only now I realize how elegant, perhaps even opulent it is. By embracing the light, we can withstand the surrounding darkness. Rabbit stew recipe. 1.5 freshly killed and skinned rabbit. 1 big onion. 1 carrot. 2 tablespoons flour. 25 grams butter. Salt and pepper. I hate that I have to do this, but I must play my part. Such is their way, cruel towards the innocent and defenseless. What does this make of me? A murderer. Is this our dinner? I was never comfortable with the cruelty towards these poor creatures. Yeah. This is a good place for a prayer. Our Father who art in heaven. So you finish the rest. I'm blinded, I can't see. You're a little birdie. He watches her with every night. His soul, her beauty spurs. His pining stare, she catches sight, and brighter more she burns. Oh, hello. Excuse-moi. This leads to the graves and crypt. Should find some time later and pay my respects. Alright, let's go check out. Oh, she's into some stuff. She's into some stuff. Doing rituals. Do you always sneak up on naked women as they bathe? No, I'm terribly sorry. It wasn't my intention to. Who are you exactly and what's your business here? Yes, I haven't introduced myself. I'm Marius Rosenthal. I came home from the seminary. Of course, the master's son. It's a bit funny, though. Thought priests were taught to be less voyeuristic. Again, I am very sorry. I have no excuse. Will you please accept my apologies? I don't know yet. I'll have to keep my eye on you and make sure you behave. Would you tell me your name? I'm Arena. I'd say it was nice to meet you, and I'm sure it was for you, but of course I understand. I will have to find a way to make up for it. Otherwise, I have a feeling I'll never hear the end of it. Well, you still deserve a few more pokes, but I'll stop eventually. It almost sounds like you're not as upset about me unintentionally seeing you naked as you are delighted for having a reason to tease me. Unintentionally, you say. Yes, I suppose one could unintentionally sneak behind me naked, delighting in the view, then trying to get a peek from the side too. It wasn't like that. I didn't sneak and I wasn't trying to. I am pretty good at rawing you up, am I not? Almost as good as you are at blushing. I deserve that. So Irina, what about your last name? Just Irina, the rest is not important. And I am pleased to meet you, all things considered. As am I, and grateful for your teasing, instead of a scandal. They do teach us to be better at the seminary. Do they now? They mold you into good boys who always look at the floor and not into girls' eyes. Thank goodness for those lessons don't seem to have rubbed off on you yet. You seem to have no issue looking at my eyes or other areas. At the seminary I learned how to better serve God. Of course. And was the experience all that you hoped for? It was in many ways. I love the calm of the place. How everyone seems focused on being a better person and not getting themselves caught in the web of daily temptations. Sounds peaceful, maybe a bit too peaceful. How'd you end up as my family's maid? I heard about the position from an acquaintance, and I spoke with your mother, offered my services. She was kind enough to accept. So here I am, and here I have been ever since. You haven't ever left since you started working here? What about your family? I don't have a family, not in the real sense. The closest things I have to loved ones are too far away for me to get to. No, I'm stuck here now. But I'm not complaining, your family is kind. Well, your father doesn't seem to like me much, but I suspect that's because of whatever disease he has. How could life ever be too peaceful? I think it could. Always settling for peace might be just be fear of living. If you never allow yourself to fall into temptation, how can you truly appreciate your existence? All the wonders God created for us are there within reach. Have you ever felt how sweet a cake is when fasting? Have you felt the merriness only wine could bring to an evening with your friends? Tasted the forbidden lips of someone else's lover? Bask your naked flesh in the sun right after making love with someone for the first time? I haven't, no, none of those things. Have you? How do we end up talking about such things? Oh, it's my fault. I tend to get too philosophical for my own sake. I'm sorry, just ignore what I said. I'm sure you're a good, decent young man. I'd like to think I am. Do you think less of me now? No, of course not. I'm just surprised to hear such things from a woman as young as me. I just read a lot of it and imagined even more, daydream myself away from this secluded place. Meeting people, experiencing the wonders of life, of love. There is no one to love here. I can understand that wanting to leave. See more of the world than just the mountain crest. Maybe one day I too will leave this place. But for now, I have to look after your family. My mother spoke very kindly of you. She even warned me not to cause you any trouble. It's almost like she foresaw how naughty you could be, peeking at naked women. I was not peeking. I was minding my own business, walking, clearing my head, when I was surprised by the sight of a very beautiful woman bathing. I reacted poorly, I admit. I lost my sense for a moment, but there was no ill intent. I think you're in a rush to justify yourself. Not only have you finally admitted that you looked at me with not the most pious intentions, but you've also dropped a lovely compliment in there. Now, was that so difficult? Admitting you enjoyed what you saw too much to look away? I didn't want you to think I was some degenerate. I admit that. For a moment too long, I couldn't stop looking at you. There, see, you're learning. A boy makes excuses, a man admits, takes responsibilities for his actions. Aren't you as young or even younger than me to scold me? Not that you're not right. Well, I'm an old soul. Don't worry about what happened. Does that mean that I'm forgiven? To be honest, I think I might have bothered me more if you didn't look. That doesn't mean it was right to peek, so I can't promise I won't tease you again about it. But it's reassuring to know you couldn't just ignore me. I don't have much experience with women. I couldn't tell. But I have a feeling you're not like most. If only you knew. Give it some time, perhaps you'll find out more. My mother requires your presence. She sent me to tell you to start preparing dinner. Of course, we'll leave as soon as you say, Master. Please don't call me that, call me Marius. You do not work for me, so please act around me as you would around any other person. But you're not any other person. So I can only act around you in a way that's specific to you. I don't quite know what that means. But please don't call me Master and try to feel at ease around me as much as you can. Understood, I won't call you Master unless you want me to. I won't. You never know. I'm not the kind of person, I don't care about status. Me neither, but I don't think we're talking about the same kind of person. I'm confused. Don't worry your handsome little head, you'll learn. Should we join my family in the mansion? We should, but as much as I appreciate your offer to walk back together, would you mind going ahead so I can finish dressing? I don't want the whole family to know how you surprised me while I was bathing. We can keep that between us. This reminded me of my mom's pumpkin pie. I loved it, but Remus always complained about the smell. Shattered glass and broken hearts.